So what can we say about Fisher Middle School? Well, it was a lot of fun going in and doing what we could with the observing. I mean, I really wish that we could have done the student teaching. And that was a big disappointment. I mean, from what I remember about bureaucracies from my own, lower school experience, they were never that fun to deal with, even on the student level, trying to get something done. I mean, I remember when I was a student, I got screwed out of a scholarship because of a technicality with politics within the school, and somebody that was family on the board of the trustees that made the scholarship ended up winning. So I understand that politics plays a big part in this, but even so, for a program like this not to have that capability to go right through it when other groups are doing it in the same list as Dr. Seaton mentioned, it's kind of ridiculous. That being said, the observing went pretty well, I would imagine. We observed a whole lecture on the gold rush out in California, and it was very informative in how the teacher was really presenting the information. She tried to tie it in a lot with modern day information. She tied it specifically to sports teams with the minor 49ers and such. And that really spoke to me in a way that you can bridge between the history and the modern life and find that connection and get them thinking about more and more, well, what other connections are there? Maybe I should look more into this. So that was very, good stuff. And it wasn't just things like that. She brought out other things. She brought up economics in as much as way she could. I mean, they weren't really comprehending the subject with supply and demand, but she did try. Another thing I noticed was all these projects they had in the back of the room. And it was from various classes that she taught, in the Crusades and the mining and things, but it was very, very well done from what I saw. She had her own examples, which were well done, and the student examples seemed very well done. Another thing I liked was, as our time was running up, the next class came in, and it was on the Crusades. And what she would do is, if a student completed all the information, I'm not sure what needed to be done, but if they completed all the tasks set forth for this one project, they were knighted in front of the class and given a title with a little certificate. And that seemed like a lot of fun and very, very original. And I can picture myself, if I'm teaching, doing fun stuff like that. And I can imagine that students would get into that for nothing else than it's funny. And, you make somebody laugh and they're going to like talking to you and listening to you. Even if it's stuff they might not normally want to hear, like history. I remember my history teachers, the best ones were the ones that could tie it to what you know and make you laugh while doing it. The school itself seemed in pretty decent condition. Brian, who went there, said they did a lot of remodeling, so that might be it. But from what I saw, it looked like good facilities. It looked like well-kept, area. The students that I observed seemed willing to participate in the class. I mean, sitting in the back, you can see what they're doing, and there wasn't a lot of slacking off. I mean, there was just a couple kids passing notes or, chatting, but other than that, it was really kids getting into the lessons, or at least paying attention and taking notes. And one of the ways I think the teacher did a good job of doing that was she had these booklets where they had to follow along with what she was saying to fill it out. And that forced them to pay attention, otherwise they're going to be falling behind. Hopefully, the next time around when we get to the tutoring, I can really dive into their subject matter and get a feel for what these kids are actually doing. But for the time that we had there, it was informative, it was fun, and I can't wait to go back.